psychology and philosophy. And so what I wanted to do today, briefly, is just introduce you to a new neuroscience club that has maybe about 4 to 6 months of tenure. And for that, I'd just like to perhaps show you a video. We're just a community of students that are from different majors. We have majors from biology, psychology, computer science, and engineering. And we got together with kind of the goal, what we personally like to call to decode the brain. And obviously, this is a tall order, but the idea is simple. It's really just to have a group of students to have relevant questions to neuroanatomy and behavior, and obviously neuroscience, so that they, during their undergraduate studies here at community college here in DC, are able to engage in research, right? So what is exactly our mission? What we want to do is to essentially empower students to be able to lead and publish neuroscientific research here in PC, right? And just to give you a quick overview of what we've done so far, we have launched in the last 6 to 8 months, I would say, we've launched 10 projects that cover different majors. So we have majors from biology, from psychology, we have from engineering, and of course, future neuroscience majors once they transfer. And just to give you an overview of what that looks like, we use an app called Notion, and this helps us keep track of all of our projects that we have so far. And so, for example, 2 of them that we have right now is we're working with an EEG. I'll get into that later. But we are developing a way to detect early signs of Alzheimer's. And it's kind of cool because it's incredibly difficult to accomplish a task like this, obviously, because you can't diagnose with full certainty Alzheimer's until you do a biopsy, right? And the patient, unfortunately, would be dead by then. But it's an interesting project to get involved with. One of our project leads is here today. His name is Jason Lee. He's back there. If you have any questions about this afterwards, you feel free to approach him. Another one is it's a kind of cool one. We're collaborating with the fashion department. It's called Vertexa. So basically, we set the EEG on a person's scalp, and they engage in this artistic activity such as singing, and it'll show the different wavelengths at different amplitudes of their different lobes and the different cortexes of their brain into a dress that will have LED lights all across. And my man Jamal over there, he's the one who's leading this project right now. You're welcome to approach him. But we also have the different kinds of projects. We have one that is being done by someone who's a business major, and he's interested in understanding what are the business opportunities for neuroscience, for neurotech. And it doesn't really end there. We have fun statistical neural network projects where you can design a way to see if from an image you can detect numbers or handwritten strokes. And we also have another student who's an econ major who loves to ride horses. She joined, and she's basically engaging in a research study as to the science behind therapeutic riding. So this is so far what we have. And with all of this, I just want to mention for this year and the next one, I'm basically making like a short film about what we're doing here, that all of those that are participating and interested in using for their college applications could, reference. And I'd just like to show you briefly a quick trailer. Hopefully there's audio. because we in PCC have become the first U.S. community college that has a student-led EEG research organization. So it's kind of a big deal in the sense because it kind of brings the community college to an upper level and sort of democratizes the opportunity to engage in neuroscientific research in your first or second year, or even if it's your third year too. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to give you kind of like an overall vision. If you would like to join, what is that we're expecting? Well, the first goal is really to, again, make neuroscience research accessible to everyone. Anyone really, from any major. I think perhaps you might agree that the brain is incredibly complex to understand, and therefore it's a noble task even to attempt to engage in any sort of research that involves neuroscience. But a strategy we have, and of course, it has some legalities into it, but we actually want to become a nonprofit so that we can have the opportunity to have some money to use in favor of our research. And so, obviously it's kind of a tall order, but still we're hoping to that. But more specifically, we want we want to train students, including myself, I'm learning how to do this, to how to run EEG studies. And this is only a fraction of our program. Obviously, we have many different strategies going on. But the idea, really, our bullseye target is to ensure that you have a chance to publish